Hi guys! Welcome to our podcast, After Hours.
I'm Moda 2000. I'm Gelssy.
And I'm Gipsy. And Moda 2000 is our family-owned quince business.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, Moda 2000 is located in Anaheim, California. We've been in the industry, in the quinceañera industry, 15 years now. This year is our quinceañera.
Moda 2000's turning 15.
Yeah, the business itself is turning 30, but we've been in the quinceañera industry for 15 years. So
that's so crazy to think. It's been so long.
I mean,
a journey.
I'm 22, right? Yeah, I'm 22. So my mom started off with the business when I was 7 and you were 8. And I still remember when we did the transition. We used to sell clothing store, like casual wear and stuff. And then my cousin decided she wanted a quince, and my mom saw a need for a quinceañera store that allowed girls to try on dresses and to have an experience versus just like going to buy a dress. That's crazy to think about it like now that you're not allowed to try on a quinceañera dress. Is pretty crazy.
So she really built an experience for girls that are turning 15 and buying their dress, because now they can try them on and get their special moment when they're in the dress. Because I can't imagine like someone buying a dress for
such a special moment.
Yeah, a special moment, and it's not like just any kind of dress. Like, it's, you know, it's not like a $30 dress either, you know?
Yeah.
So I can't imagine someone just saying like, okay, I'll take it, and never trying it on.
Yeah, or even because I know a lot of people don't try it on, like, because we do like the virtual stuff too. Even like not getting to see it on somebody that looks like you or that is your age or stuff like that. It's like, because back then nobody like posted photos on Instagram with like their quince dress.
Social media wasn't a thing.
And I think it was just like you got to see the picture of the model wearing it, and I mean the models are
or
like
on a mannequin.
25 years old, so it's not compared to like a quinceañera, you know, girl. So that happened, and she ended up getting her 3 dresses: an aqua one, a fuchsia one, and then the second one was like the turquoise one, right? And my cousin said, oh, I want the turquoise one. So my mom had 2 dresses left over, and she put them in the store, and people started buying them, and
Or they started asking her, oh, do you have it in this color? And she would somehow like end up getting it for them, and then eventually it just became a thing.
Yeah, so it's been 15 years. And
I'm excited to do something for Moda's quinceañera.
Yeah, it's in June. So
well, I don't know. If you guys have any ideas for us to celebrate.
We should have like a big party. Even though it's like COVID, we should have a virtual big party.
Yeah, or all the girls that have gotten their dress from us, like have them make a TikTok or something. I think that'd be fun. But I'm really excited for this podcast because we get to bring people on behind the scenes of what really goes on at the store after hours.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, there's a lot to show. And
there's
we
a
got
lot that goes on behind
and we
store.
got a little peek of that with Quince Bosses. I feel like we got to bring people on behind the scenes, and now we get to do that even more.
I think it definitely helped us like be more expressive in the business. It helped us like it helped our customers get to know us.
Yeah, because what I've noticed is people don't think the store is a family-owned business.
A lot of people think it's like really corporate and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, not yet. We're still on board, and yeah, I feel like people got to relate to our story too. Like from the very beginning when we only had like 10 dresses to now, and we got to show that side.
It's crazy to think about where the store was even as like little as 5 years ago to where it is now. If you haven't watched Quince Bosses, we'll tell you a little bit. But basically, the store wasn't always what it is today.
It wasn't popping before.
Yeah, it was not TikTok viral or Instagram viral. It was definitely like your mom and pop shop. My parents were the ones running it before.
We were at school.
Yeah.
So we weren't
in
involved.
high school.
Yeah,
we were doing our own like kid stuff.
Yeah. So we were in school at the time when we moved into this store, because we were at a different location. And when we moved into the store, it was a really hard transition.
It's so different selling like a $10, $15 shirt versus like a $1,500 dress. So it's definitely such a hard transition to make within months. And that's what we were expecting, was that it was going to be like a quick like turn in from casual to quinceañera. And we didn't realize that all the customers that we had that were shopping for like casual clothing were not quinceañeras. So we had to find, a new whole clientele.
It was a new business.
Yeah, it was totally new to business that we just expected to pick up the same numbers that we were doing with casual wear. and it was not like that.
No,
So there were some sacrifices that had to be made. Now that I think about it, I read this thing a couple like days ago that said your sacrifices aren't sacrifices, they're investments. So it was definitely an investment that we made into the store, was giving up our house to save the store. And I mean, either way, if we would have saved the house, we would have ended up giving up the store.
Yeah, I can't imagine what would have turned out from that.
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful that my parents made that decision, because I mean at the time it was probably really hard for them to tell us. I know it was, and it was hard for us to accept, like, we have to move into the store,
especially because we were teenagers. You know, teenagers were.
It was my senior year.
It was my junior year.
And our house was kind of like the house that everyone would go hang out at. I would have bonfires, like,
pool parties.
So it was really hard for us. Like, we don't want to tell anyone. Like, no one can find out. But eventually, our friends found out, and they would come over and hang out with us. But we've always had a really great support system from our family as well. So,
and our friends thought it was cool that we lived at the store.
Yeah,
some of them.
I mean, imagine living at the store. The store is huge.
Yeah.
And at the time, we only had 10 dresses. So
and at the time, we thought we were all slick, telling we thought like none of the employees knew. When they really did know, they would just play it off that they didn't know. But they knew. It's like that one TikTok that's like, how would they know? They're gonna find out. Remember?
Yeah, I can't remember how it goes.
But yeah, and it's crazy to think that, like, literally where we're filming right now, this used to be our room.
And now it's a studio for our podcast.
And Motive has its own little warehouse.
And I'm excited because I could see this podcast going somewhere more than a podcast. Like, hopefully eventually we can come out with more videos, tutorials,
more Quince Dress, like, finding stories. However you word that.
So I'm really excited.
I'm excited. Yeah, it's definitely been a journey and a time coming, and I love podcasts. I recently just started getting into them like 2 years ago, so I feel like it's so cool, like, when you love, like, watching or hearing something, and then you got to do it, you know.
And this is new in the Quince industry, so
yeah, I don't think anybody has a Quince podcast. After this, there'll be like 20. I'm just kidding. We should talk about that a little bit, how we've pioneered it. Yeah, I definitely feel like it's been such a ride, like, especially an emotional, like, roller coaster on, like, having to, like, deal with, like, the fact that you're growing, but also the fact that, like, so many people are doing what you're doing, and it could get annoying a lot of mostly all the time.
It used to really get to us.
Yeah.
But then really, because it used to really get to us because we had never experienced anything like that. Like, someone just working so hard on an idea or something, and then hearing, like, someone else doing it exactly the same, like, to the detail. And I remember I used to cry all the time. You used to get really mad when people would find out, like, certain, like, secrets or, like, things that we had about the store. And it really took my mom to tell us, like, you will get used to it. You know, every time someone copies you, like, it's because you need to do something different, evolve. And that's what we've always done.
Yeah, and I listened to this podcast like a year ago that really, like, changed my mindset on it. Was she's this girl that does flowers. She said, like, she knew she was the biggest one in the industry when she saw everybody copying her ideas. And I think that's something that, like, we've definitely done, is that we've grown so big in this industry that was, like, nothing a few years ago, to, like, now making it such, like, an experience.
Yeah, especially, like, starting with the experience of trying on dresses. My mom really... She made that whole thing up, basically.
Yeah, nobody would let you either try on dresses or take pictures. Isn't that crazy? Now we're like, please take a picture in the dress.
Yeah, post it on Instagram, tag us.
And before it was like, no pictures allowed, or, you know, no trying on dresses.
No touching.
Yeah,
there would be signs. Yeah. No food, no touching, no pictures. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy to think. Now it's like the total opposite. Take pictures of everything. Like,
yeah, it's crazy how much, like, this industry has changed.
Yeah, and I think... starting off with My Dream Quinceañera too, when they started filming, we got the opportunity to be, like, one of the first ones on there, and we really grabbed that opportunity and milked it to the max. I feel like
squeezed all the juice out of it.
Yeah, and because my mom always saw the value in, like, all of that, like, being any kind of exposure, like, she took it, and we didn't know what was gonna come out of that, and now we're here, and I'm grateful for that whole experience. And I think when we jumped in and started, like, helping out, and I started taking care of like the marketing side and the fashion shows, events that we do, and you started really organizing everything, because before we didn't have a system.
Yeah, before it was
everything written down. And
yeah, it was crazy, like, to think about like the shift that's been made from both of our parts, because before it was like if we needed to find something, it would literally take us like hours trying to find one piece of paper.
And I think once we got on board, I think everything just started flowing, because, and a lot of weight was lifted off my parents.
Yeah, and they got to definitely like step outside the box and see where to take the the business. Yeah, so it's definitely like a group effort. My mom calls us her pillars, and I think that's definitely what holds the store, is the four of us being like the pillars of it. But
She says we're her oxygen.
if
you guys have seen the first episode, I swear I know every line from that scene, because I've used it so much. And my mom makes fun of me because I can tell you every line. And
All right,
Gelssy
tell
will
me
be
a
like,
line.
she's my oxygen too.
But you're my oxygen.
So it was fun filming that. And
yeah, it definitely was a different
and
experience.
it took us back.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, not that we forgot everything, but I think we got to relive it again, because we were telling the story from a different
perspective.
Yeah.
Or from a different like
time in our
Yeah.
life. Like, yeah, I feel like
I feel like if you would have asked us, I feel like if they would have asked us to tell the story even like a year ago, we would have had such a different view on that story, versus like now where we're in a way different place than we were even as little as like a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And it's crazy to think that like where we're filming right now is where our bedroom used to be.
That's crazy. And it's, everything's always changing. And I think especially this year, a lot of things have changed for us. And I think now I feel like we're closing a chapter, like we're closing an era. And this year was really us creating new things.
Yeah, I think before we used to rely a lot on like us wanting other people to create it like with us, when this year has really, we came with the understanding of like nobody's gonna do it for us, we're gonna do it ourselves. So I think that's like one of the biggest shifts that we've seen this year for our business, is that now it's like mine and yours turn to like actually get like be the faces behind the business versus letting other people be it for us.
And I think it's because we never really thought of that, We've always been working behind the scenes, making sure everything looks good on the outside. But I think it's important for people to know who those people are. Because when I, like, buy something from a brand or go to a place, when I know who it is behind the scenes, I feel like I have a connection.
Or like Desi, Desi Perkins? Like, I don't even wear sunglasses, but the day she launched her sunglass company, I bought two, just because I knew like who it was and like what she was doing, and this like she talked about it openly, So I feel like that's like a lot of to do with why we're doing this podcast, is because we want our customers and our consumers and our clients, everybody, to like get to know like who is behind the brand Moda 2000.
And even if you're not having a quinceañera, like relating to like our family story or our business story, I feel like I'm excited to like touch those people, like reach out to those people too. So I think we're going to have a lot of different topics on this podcast.
Yeah, I don't think it'll just be like, I think it'll be a focus of quinceañera, but I don't think it'll just be quinceañera, because it'll be a lot of like business or like family like businesses, not situations, but like family businesses, So to touch like other people that are not just having quinceañeras.
And I don't think a lot of people know that we also have Planning My Quince, which is
I don't think a lot of people know that it's us.
Yeah, I think because we share a lot of different ideas, vendors in the quince industry, especially the team that has grown with us. I feel like we've grown with a very unique team, like makeup artist
Javier,
AVM, Drazo Entertainment. I feel like they've been here from the very beginning. So we also have Planning My Quince, and that's like our Instagram page. And eventually, because of its popularity, we got to do an expo. We got to do a couple expos.
So that was like a different business venture of like doing expos and like working with like locations and like learning all that stuff. It was like a whole new business.
And it was also like creating an experience from like the beginning, like the expo, to like when they come in store to pick out their dress. So I remember one of my favorite things about the expos was when we would do like the mother-daughter the mother-daughter runways.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, no one has ever done that. And I feel like because we had, like, the moms of the models there, and we got, like, we got to see their special
moms. It wasn't, like, you know.
We didn't hire model moms or anything. We got to see their bond, and we had, like, the bond with my mom.
And I think the moms felt, like, involved. Like, oh, I gotta be on stage.
It was, like, a big family. And so we got to do that, and that's, like, something special that we've been able to do with Planning My Quince as well.
Yeah, and I definitely feel like our team has, like, grown with us so much, too. So, yeah, they become, like, family.
Yeah, we have a huge family.
Some of them are literally family.
Literally, yeah. AVM Photo Boutique, that's our aunt and uncle.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we've become this huge family. I feel like everyone that works with us, I feel like my mom doesn't let them go. Like, she wants to help everyone, and I think that's where we got it too. When the girls started, like, asking for advice on how to start a business, we were like, yeah, let's help them.
I remember when Mia told us, and I was like, oh my gosh. I remember, like, we bought something from her that same day that she launched.
How many girls have we helped? Like 10, right? Like a couple.
Yeah, a couple. Yeah, we even get, like, DMs from, like, clients wanting to start
Oh my God. I remember one time someone called the store and asked us how much we charge to help them start a business. I'm like, no, that's not what we do. Like,
yeah. I mean, we could eventually.
Yeah.
But
eventually,
right now,
But yeah, it's been fun helping, people start their own business because we've inspired them somehow. And I think that's also something that I'm excited for this podcast, because we get to, like, share,
like, different, like, tips
advice,
and tricks. Even if you're like it. I feel like it doesn't. The tips that we're gonna share aren't even gonna just apply to, like, quince industry. They could apply to, like, any business, because none of the girls have had a quince business
besides Danny.
Yeah. So, like, and we've still been able to help them. And I remember, like, taking it back to, like, the olden days.
The olden days
when we used to live here. I remember one night, you were telling me, like, oh my gosh, we got verified.
Oh no, yeah, I remember.
And I was like, oh my God, no way. And then you showed me the email. You're like, yeah, it just has to, like, log in and, like,
it just
verify.
has to put your password, or
like, they just want me to put my password, my social security. And she did it, and then, like, literally, like, I had the most 1,000 access on my phone, and then it was on your phone and Juan's phone, right? And then I remember going on it just to, like, refresh it and make sure that it was verified. Like, we had, like, the little blue check mark next to our name.
We were so excited. Like, we really thought we were gonna get verified.
It said, what did it say? Like,
it just says,
you've been logged out.
Out.
And I was like, what? That's weird. And we were both like, oh, maybe it's just, like, because they have to, like, update their software, their system, or something, Instagram.
Maybe they're gonna give us a little welcome, like, to verified, or I don't know. But it was really scary, because then, like, right away I got an email that said, send this much amount of money and you'll get your account back. And me and her were like, no, like, what do we do? We can't tell our parents.
Like, I felt like my heart dropped. And then you were like, okay, let's not tell my parents. And I was like,
let's figure it out. I was like,
we could do it. We're little bosses.
Like, we really thought we were something. And then
how old were we? I think we were, like, 18, huh?
Yeah, we were young.
We were young, yeah. Young and naive.
Little kids. But, well, what ended up happening was we sent money through PayPal because we really thought he was going to give us access back. Like, we were new to the business. Like, I feel like back then we were so, like you said, naive to everything. Like, if someone said, like, oh, let me get your password, I'd give it to them because I think everyone's, like, good. What ended up happening was we sent money, and then we never got it back. We were, like, back and forth.
No, we sent money, and then the guy said, or I don't know if it was a guy, I'm just assuming it was a guy.
It was a guy because he went live.
Oh, yeah, and he had a beagle, yeah.
That was the scary part. Go.
Okay, well, we sent him money, and then he gave us the password, okay?
Yeah.
We were like, oh my gosh, like, it worked. He's such a nice guy. He gave...
Send him more money.
He gave us the password, and then we logged in, and it said, you need a verification code. And right away when it said that, he said...
And it said, the verification code has been sent to this number. Yeah. And the last 4 numbers popped up, and it was not ours, obviously. So then he asked for more money for the verification code. And then that's when we were just, like, freaking out, and we had to tell our parents. And that's when
I think because we started figuring it out. I think we got a little smart in those couple of minutes. And we were like, okay, if we send him money, he already has the verification on his phone. When, like, if we need to change the password, we have to get another verification code to change the password. So it was gonna be like this back and forth. He was never gonna give us like, as long as he got the money, he was never gonna give us like the password. It wasn't that much. It was like $200, and he wanted $200 more. But at that time, me and Gypsy weren't even making $200, so it was a lot to us. Yeah. So then we told my dad. My dad got really mad because we used the store PayPal. I'm so glad we went through PayPal though, because on PayPal you could actually like, I don't know how to do it, like unsend money.
You can like file.
Yeah, you could file fraud or something
yeah.
like that. And I did that right away, and then we ended up getting the money back. And
But
that's when he got
that,
mad. Yeah.
So because he got a notification saying that we did that, he said really bad things. He said really bad things, and then he said,
"I'm rule the day." Just kidding.
Basically, and then he said that we had this time, or else he was gonna like go live, and he posted really bad stuff, really bad stuff. And all night we were getting phone calls from moms, from people in general.
And they all knew that we got hacked, obviously.
Well, yeah,
we weren't going to be
obviously.
posting, like, those nasty stuff.
It was
but,
really
like, they all
bad.
knew, yeah, and they're like,
And,
yo, I don't know if you guys knew.
Yeah, and they were like, call the police. So we called the police, but what are they going to do? Like,
They literally came. I don't even think the cop knew what Instagram was. He was like, what do you want me to do?
Can you imagine now, like, thinking about it? Like, if you tell a cop, like, I got hacked on my Instagram, help me. Like, what are they going to do?
I remember.
We were just so scared.
Yeah, I remember I messaged Katie. You remember? Mm-hmm. Katie, she's like an Instagram influencer, and she had recently just gotten hacked, but she got her Instagram back. So I literally messaged her. I like DM'd her on Twitter, on Instagram. I tweeted her, help me, Katie. She never helped.
I think we called the cops because they started calling the store and like saying really bad things.
And they were posting really bad stuff, and it was to like
so
a really
we're like,
young
well, maybe they
demographic.
could do something, like track him, or I don't know. But that was it. That was the end of that. I cried for like a whole week.
And you never finished it. Oh. So what ended up happening was that he started posting really bad stuff. So we literally asked everybody that we knew, please like post on your stories, please report the page, because at that point we just wanted it.
We were about to hit 50K.
Yeah, at that point we just wanted it to get taken down because of the bad stuff that they were putting. And he went live and he was just like saying stuff, and everybody, all the younger girls are like, get off of Minute 2000's page, this isn't your page, and stuff like that.
And to this day we still get girls like, I've been here from the start, from when you guys got hacked. And it's like, I think that's when we really built a community.
Yeah. And then I remember like we were asking all the MDQ girls like, oh, you know, you guys have followers, like post it, like
post it so you could get it taken down.
Yeah, that we got hacked, and to report the page. And then what ended up happening?
Well, we never got it back.
We lost it.
We lost everything, and for a whole week I was like hoping that Instagram would get back to us.
And then this is where we are a little bit naive again. We didn't have the email that the account was linked to. It was my mom's old email. Nobody knew the password. My mom never remembers her passwords. We're in charge of remembering. So nobody knew the password. We had no access to that account. We went to like the Microsoft store because it was a Hotmail, thinking that they were going to help us. They're like, these little girls. And, you know, we I think after like 2 weeks of trying like consistently, we decided to start over.
Yeah.
But tell us about the guy. Because I think you know more about the guy.
Yeah, so
about the hacker.
He was like, well, when he was live, he pinned his Instagram username, like telling everyone to go follow his account. And so I was like obviously stalking him and checking like what he was doing with our account. And he was actually selling our account. So that's like what he does for a living. I don't know if he still does that, but he would hack into accounts that had followers and he would sell them. Or he would hack into accounts too that had like single worded usernames, and he would sell them. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, dang, like we really got played.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to, for like a whole week, I was like, no, I'm going to wait. I was like hopeful that Instagram would get back to us and help us, but it's so hard to get help from them because they don't have a direct phone number or like an email. Because like, for example, Google has a direct phone number, but they don't.
Oh yeah, imagine if Instagram did, all the people that get hacked.
I know, that's crazy. Like... So we had to start from zero, but I think because we had to start from zero, that really pushed us to create more content and really be unique.
Mm-hmm. You know? And also I feel like the old Instagram had a lot of stuff that like a lot of people that were following it were like ghost followers kind of in a way that like weren't even active on their pages. So I think it definitely helped us like build a community that was more like engaged. in the content that we're posting.
And reaching to actual quinceañeras.
Because before I used to reach a lot to like what Mozazen used to be before, which is like casual clothing. So I feel like a lot of that audience was still on there.
Yeah. We've had a lot of experiences that have helped us grow, and we're still learning. We're still learning, but I think we're older and
a little smarter, not
just
that much.
a little smarter.
We still make mistakes a lot.
Yeah.
What's your most recent mistake?
Well, the live fashion show that we had, that was bad.
It wasn't bad, but it was just a learning curve, a huge learning curve.
It was, yeah, because we've never done anything like that. So we didn't prepare for it. We didn't test anything. We just thought like we could just turn on the live button and everything would be fine. But that's not the case, obviously. So that was a big, that was really hard for me. Because like when I started seeing the comments saying like, this is like really blurry, this is unprofessional, I was like, this is not us, like erase. But it was a learning lesson, and it got us to think like, what could we do differently, and what could we do that's easier but still effective. So I think that's always been our mindset, like from the beginning. Like if something goes wrong, like yes, we'll cry about it for a little bit, but we're always like, okay, well, what can we do better? What can we do different? So
how can we be better?
What about you? What's your recent mistake?
My recent mistake is still ongoing. My recent mistake is with the systems. A lot of things have just like plopped down ever since I left on vacation.
Oh gosh.
So I'm still in the process of like fixing it, which for me it's like it's something I gotta fix every day, because it can't just be like this, because you have to train people and you have to make sure they're programmed the correct way or else they don't work, and it's not like in line. So I'm still going through it. But yeah, I'm really excited about this new project and doing the podcast, and we have also a new show coming out.
Yeah, we have Planning My Quince, the show. It's gonna be
the show.
We're gonna add the show at the bottom because it's gonna be
that's cute. I like the show.
Yeah, right, just made that up.
Oh.
We're going to write that down. Because it was just going to be Planning My Quince.
This is how most of our days go.
We were just talking and we're like, wait, that was a good idea. Write it down. But so I'm really excited because we're going to get to bring on girls finding their dresses, and eventually, hopefully when quinces get back up, we can do something with that too.
That'll be really fun. And but let us know on our Instagram what you guys want to see, what you guys want us to talk about, topics.
Who we should bring on as guests. And for sure, we're going to bring on Javier. Everyone's always asking for... Or, I don't know. Should we bring him on? Let us know in the comments.
He kind of made me mad the other day.
Let us know in the comments if you guys want us to bring Javier and what other guests we should have on.
Yeah, and if you guys want to be featured, I feel like it'll be cool having like, some real quinceañeras on here.
Send us your video on if you want to come to our podcast or our dress searching show.
But thank you guys so much for tuning in
to this first episode.
Bear with us, we'll get better as it goes on.
We'll get the flow of it.
Eventually, one day. In 5 years.
Right? No, don't say that. Okay, well, thank you guys so much, and we will see you guys on the next episode.
Bye.